What is up, guys? It's Max Merck here, and as you guys can tell by the title, I have a pretty interesting update for you guys today. And before I start getting into it, let me just show you guys the video of what happened. A little bit of backstory. So the other car, the camera car, is a 2013 BMW 335i sedan. It's rear-wheel drive. It's with the N55 motor. It's stage 2, downpipe and boot mod tune, I believe. But as you can see, as I give that cocky little wave goodbye and start pulling away, I believe I hit redline a little bit too hard. You can hear the kind of shift. It hits redline a little bit hard. And at that point, you can see it dump out a little bit of white smoke. And at that point, I really don't notice anything going on inside of the car. Until at one point towards the very end of that little clip I just showed you guys, I noticed in my rearview mirror a bunch of white smoke dump out the back, and at that point I just pull over and stop. So after we pull over on the side of the road, I notice that there's a little puddle of something's leaking, something's smoking, and end up calling AAA, have the car towed home. And my buddy gives me a ride back. And I did a little bit of digging and research, and what I believe to have happened before I tear into it, which we're going to do in this video right now, but before I tear into it, what I think happened is that the transmission got too hot, a little bit too hot. So fast forward, I get home, I hook up my scan tool, and I get these two codes. I look up the codes and find out it has something to do with the transmission, potentially missing a shift or something going on with the transmission, and whether it be low fluid level or overfilled or something like that, something wrong. And after doing a little bit more digging, what I think happened, and it's happened to a couple other people before, I've seen a video of a C63 on the Nürburgring where the exact same thing happened. And apparently what happens is when the transmission gets too hot, it dumps out a bit of transmission fluid out of the breather valve or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. But that's just going off of what people have said on the internet. So what we're gonna do now is go ahead and take it apart and see exactly where it came from, what happened, if it was a gasket, oil pan gasket. But if we go over here, you can see where it's been sitting in my garage. It was sitting regularly for quite a while. I've turned it this way so I can go ahead and work on it easily. And as you can also see, I have the Edition 507 wheels mounted on the car. They are replica, of course, but it looks good nonetheless. So as you can see here, we have some greenish transmission fluid that's leaked underneath the car, and I'm hoping that it could be the oil, like I said, the transmission oil pan gasket or something. You know, we're going to find out now. Alright, so I've got the car on jack stands. I've got a couple of the belly pans removed. As you can see, the one right underneath the motor is not covered in oil or anything, but the one right underneath the transmission is pretty doused in transmission fluid. Now let's go ahead and hop underneath the car. Okay, so as we head underneath the car, as you can see, we have right here the oil pan. Looks to be okay, besides a little bit of transmission fluid. As we can see down here, it looks pretty green. That looks like transmission fluid to me. Moving further down, you can see the transmission oil pan is a little bit, actually it's pretty covered in transmission fluid. The entire exhaust, I hope you guys can see right there, is covered in transmission fluid. I mean, it starts right here and it goes the entire length of pretty much the rest of the exhaust. I mean, obviously nothing hit. I don't think I cracked anything. What's probably going to end up happening is I'm going to end up ordering a transmission service kit from FCP Euro, and have my mechanic just do a full transmission flush, replace the fluid in here, as well as the filter. I think that's the first course of action. But I'm going to go ahead and clean off all this transmission fluid to go ahead and start the car, see if anything starts to leak again, and try and identify where it's coming from. That's the most that I can do within my capabilities. Beyond that, I'm just going to give it to my mechanic to do a whole transmission service and see where we go from there. Yeah, and moving down, before I get out of here, I want to show you guys the secondary cat delete. Sorry about this flashing light, I know it's dying, but this is where the secondary cats would have been replaced with straight pipes. I still have the secondary cats if I ever want to return it back to stock. Not the cleanest or prettiest of weld jobs, but everything is sealed off nicely. So let's go ahead and give you guys a cold start. I know it's not that cold outside, but we'll go ahead and start the car, and I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can see any like active leaks while the car is running. Woo! Okay, I just ran the car for a couple minutes, went underneath, checked everything out. Didn't get any leaks while the car was running just then and there. I'm gonna go ahead right now, hook up my iCarSoft OBD scan tool, taking a little ride around the street, bring you guys with me, see what happens, check the temperature of the transmission using the scan tool, kind of just go for a little test drive and take it easy. This car also has a secondary cat delete and a resonator delete. I've left the belly pan, the under trays off the car right now, so when I get back I'm going to go and look again, see if there's any more fluid, any new fluid. But regardless, I think this calls for a transmission service, so I'm going to be ordering those parts off of FCP Euro. So I figured I might as well do the CLK too if we're servicing transmissions. Probably not going to do that myself. I'll have my mechanic do it at GTP Motorsports in Air Park, Gaithersburg, Maryland. I pretty much go to him for everything I've done. He's had a 507 himself, another C63, a couple E55s. If you guys are in like the DMV area, GTP Motorsports is a great place to bring your Mercedes, German vehicles, pretty much any vehicle. So as you can see down here, we've got the iCarSoft MB2 scan tool hooked up. You can see it shows the converter, slip speed, actual gear, target gear, transmission oil temperature 179. It's sitting around there right now. Seems to be okay. If I go to emergency running, you can see it shows no current fault codes, no emergency running. Go ahead and pop the car into Sport Plus mode. See, it's shifting just fine. Oh boy, check out this Gladiator. Yeah, she's pulling nice and strong. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and be sure to stay tuned for what's coming next. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time.